I am back with another process video. Today I am going to be using the Scoot collection from Echo Park. I'm going to show you the pages I am using right here. I'm going to go ahead and do a freeze frame on that. I think I've gotten several layouts out of this collection and I probably have enough left to do 2 or 3 more layouts. It seems to have gone quite a long ways. I haven't used it for a little bit, so it was kind of fun to get back into this childish, primary, fun kid collection. I am going to scrapbook a picture of my son when he was 6 months old, and he is standing up by his walker, and that was his preferred method to use his walker. He'd rather push it from the outside than sit in it and walk. He'd rather walk from the outside and push it around. So it was kind of cute. It's not a great picture because, of course, it was, 23 years ago? So it's not the best quality, but that's okay. So you saw there, I went ahead and pulled out my sewing machine and I stitched around the edges of that. Right there, I was showing you some Bombay ink by P.H. Martin's. It's India ink. I'm going to use a little bit of it. And here are some items that I think I might use. I freeze framed on the items that actually did end up making it on the page. I am going to use some of that India ink and I'm going to splatter with the blue, and I'll tell you at the end, not the end, but in a little bit I do end up splattering with the ink without being watered down, and that looks great. So for the future I need to know that when I splatter with the India ink, just don't water it down because it looks so much better. Right here I picked up some crepe paper and I just put it in a little ball and I'm dipping it into that watered down India ink and just smishing it around the page. I don't know why I did that. I guess maybe I didn't have plastic packaging around. I have no idea, but that's how I did it, and it looks good. So that's where I went ahead and did some more splatters. I'm going to put that aside, let it dry. This is the first time I worked with that India ink. I ordered it off of Amazon and I wasn't sure how long it would take to dry, so I went ahead and put it to the side and just started making the base of my layout on my table without the background. Right there you saw I matted that photo with the striped paper that is from the Scoot collection. Here's where I went ahead and dipped that little popsicle stick into the ink on its own and splattered it around, and it is so dark and bright and vibrant. I loved that. So I got a lot of these strips. These strips of paper, they were cut off of some of the papers from previous layouts, so I just went ahead and stuck those together as a base. That little baggie right there is all the ephemera from this collection, or pieces that I'd cut out of papers from this collection, and I'm pulling them out, looking through them, seeing what I might like to use. The flag banner at the top there, it was a sticker, and I had used that powder tool on the back to take the sticky off of it. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these strips together, and I got some glue on the table, so the strips wanted to stick to my table. Well, not my table, but my mat. I am going to go ahead and run those through my sewing machine, and while I have my sewing machine out, I went ahead and took my background and just did some random stitching on my background as well. And this is after I had fixed my bobbin, so I have been pulling out my sewing machine a lot more since I got that taken care of. So there's the random stitching that I did on the background of the page. So that is starting to look cute. I go ahead and I'm going to put that tag behind that picture. Here are the strips that I sewed, and I didn't want them as long as they ended up being. And I did not have any intention of doing this, but I do cut that off, and then I put the other portion of those strips up at the top left of the photo, which was like a happy surprise because that wasn't in my initial playing around with these pieces. Right there, that die cut that says Sweet Boy, that is going to serve as my title, and that is where I put the banner. That tag's going to be right there poking out of that. I'm going to thread that with some crochet thread. So here's where I pulled the rest of the strips out, the other part that was cut, and that is where I stick them. So I'm trying to put some layers up at the top. Right there I was showing you my crochet thread. Part of this roll of thread is pink. I spilled something on it at some point and didn't notice it. I just now saw it, so I was ranting and raving just then about, oh my word. So I'm going to put this on some foam tape and stick it right there by that tag. Right here I'm trying to work on just a little bit of layering to go above those stitches, and I do settle on that tiny strip of paper with the dots and then a little yellow label. I don't write anything on that yellow label, it just stays there blank. Right here is a star clip. I showed the package when I was looking through the items that I thought I might use, and these are little star stickers. They are from Pretty Little Studio. When she had that sale, I think these were like, I don't know, 20 cents for the page of them, and they worked out nicely. Even just using them on this one page, I think I got my 20 cents worth. So right here I pulled out those Scraptastic exclusives that I showed in the beginning. I don't end up using any more of these. I've had these big acrylics probably for at least a year, and I have not been able to use them on anything yet. These are the Simple Stories Snap pack, and I do use that 6 that is a circle. My son was 6 months old in this picture, so I thought that worked out perfectly. Here I am putting around some red enamel dots. They were left over from the Cartabella It's a Girl collection that I used last week, a couple weeks ago. And after I do that, I am going to write my journaling. I just talk about how Beachhead preferred to walk on the outside of his walker instead of the inside. And that is all I do to the layout. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.